except balls to the wall. Alright, let me play through all the different sections for you, and then at the end I'll go through each one and give you the walkthrough and the details, all that. And do me a huge favor, hit that subscription button. Please help out my channel, it'd be much appreciated. Alright, so no further ado, let's get balls to the wall. And I'm basing this off of the music video version, so it's probably more like the radio edit or what have you. Okay, so this intro riff only happens here. Really cool, probably my favorite riff of the song. It's going to start here, and we're just going to do like these bottom parts of some power chords. So it'll start with the 5s on the A and D. Okay, and we'll just hit that, and then we'll hit an open E. Okay, and then we'll move over to 2s on the A and D, and we're going to go 2s to opens on the A and D, back to 2s. Okay, and then we're just going to hit a couple of open E palm muteds to finish out the measure. Okay, so that first measure would be something like this. Alright. Okay, and the second measure, we come back to those 5s, hit that, hit an open E, go back to the 2s, and then we just go 2s to open. Okay. Alright, and from there, we're going to hit 3 open E's. Alright, so we just kind of shuffle it up a little bit. Alright, so that second measure. Alright, and the third measure is basically just the same as the first. Okay, you only need to do 1 open E at the end there, because we're going to get into this small little scale up part now. Okay, we're going to hit those 5s, and then we're going to hold that a moment, and then finish it by doing 6s, 7s on the A and D, okay? Alright, so just put it all together slowly here. Alright, now we get into the verse section. Pretty basics, just 3 chords. And all we're going to do is just kind of switch the order of them. So the initial time through, we're going to hit this higher voiced G power chord here. So it's 5 on the D, 7 on the G. Okay, we're just going to hit that, and then we move up to 7 on the A, 9 and 9 on the A and D, on the D and G. Okay, so something like this. Okay, and we would kick off the next measure by just going down to 5 on the A, 7s on the D and G. Okay, and we'll just let that ring. All right, in the second half of this, all we do is just switch the order of those last two chords. Okay, we come back to our 5 on the D and G, and instead of coming up to the 7 on the A, now we just go to that 5 on the A. And essentially we just come up, whereas before we went down. Okay, so 7 on the D and G with the 5 on the A here, and then just bring that up to 7 on the A 9s. Okay, so it sounds like this. All right, the bridge section, we switch over to a B power chord now. Okay, and with this, we're just going to hit a chord and let it ring for a measure. All right, so we hit that B power chord, 2 on the A, 4 on the D and G. All right, we go from there, and then we're going to come up and hit that high-voiced G on the 5D, 7G. Okay, and then we're just going to go back to that B power chord now. And then finish with the A power chord. Okay, and we would go through this whole thing twice, and on the second time through, at the very end there, when we get to that A power chord, you want to strum that 5 times. Okay, now we'll get us into our chorus. Okay, into the chorus riff now. It's going to start just bouncing around some power chords in this area. We'll hit that open E, then we go to the B power chord, second A, 4 on the D, back to the open E, okay, and then we come over and we go 3rd fret power chord on the E, down to 2nd to open. Okay, so slowly here it's something like. Okay, that first measure. Alright, in the second measure, we just bounce between that open E to B, back to open E again, but it's just kind of more of like a quick open palm mute on the E, so you're like. Alright, and then from there, we come up to that high-voiced G power chord on the 5D, 7G, hit that, and then come up a set of strings to the 5A, 7s on the D and G. Okay, so just try that second measure slowly here. Alright, so pretty basic, and you would go through that section 3 times, and part of it a 4th time again, that initial riff there. Okay, the E, B, E. But then from there, once we come up and do that G power chord on the 3rd fret, you just want to kind of do a delayed strum, do 1, 2, 3, okay, and then from there come up on the 5th fret of the A with the 7s on the D and G and go 1, 2, 3, okay, so. Okay, just to cap off that chorus part. Okay, there's an interlude section that happens, and there's a second guitar, and basically it's just hitting some open E power chords, you know, every measure, something like that, just in the background. Okay, no big deal. Alright, now we get to this interlude section, and it's basically we come up to the 16 on the E, and we just hit it and let it ring, give it a lot of vibrato there, hold it for a moment. Okay, and then we're going to do this descending scale with some like whammy dips in it, and it's just basically supposed to sound kind of crazy and wild, so you know, you can follow this or you can just come up with your own wild noises there, but something like this here. Okay, I'll do it slowly for you. Okay, now we just do the scale with some whammy dips. Okay, just do a big dip like every note just to get it sounding funky. Alright, and we get to this other interlude section towards the end, and it's just kind of following a vocal pattern that's happening. It'll start at a lower octave, and then it works its way up to a higher octave. Okay, so we're going to start here at the 2nd fret on the A. We're going to go 2, hold it a moment, go 4, 5, 4, back to 2. Alright, next measure we do 5E, 3E, 2A, 2E. Alright, the third measure kind of sounds like the first. We'll end it a little different. It's 2A, 4, 5, 4, but then back to 5. Alright, and that'll lead us into our last measure where we're just going to come up and hold this 7 on the A for a minute. Okay, so when it jumps up to the next octave, we have this little transitional bendy solo-y thing that happens here. Basically, we're going to be on the 5 of the B. We give it a bend, release it, come off to 3B, and then do a quick 5, 3 on the B, and then get into our higher octave of the previous pattern. Okay, so that part would sound something like this. Alright, and from there, we're going to get into this higher octave now. Okay, so we're going to be on 4G, and then we go 2, 3, 2 on the B, back to 4G. Alright, and from there we go 2G, open to 4, and then 4D. Alright, third measure, kind of sound like the first of this pattern. So it's 4 on the G, 2B, 3, 2, back to 3B. Okay, and then just finish on the 5 of the B. Thanks for checking out the video, everybody. Like it, share it, leave a comment. It's always good to hear from you. Do me a favor and hit the subscription button. I put out a video pretty frequent, so you don't want to miss out on that. Check out the links in the description box below. I have really cool links for tablature books, all the gear I use, t-shirts, fun stuff like that. So thank you very much, and we'll see you next time.